Martin Mull, comedian and actor in Arrested Development and Roseanne, dies at 80. Los Angeles. Martin Mull was droll, esoteric comedy and acting made him a hip sensation in the 1970s and later a beloved guest star on sitcoms including Roseanne and Arrested Development has died, and his daughter Said Friday says that Mull's daughter TV writer and comic artist Maggie Mull said her father died at home on Thursday after a valiant fight against a long illness. And Mull, by the way, was also a guitarist and painter, came to national fame with a recurring role on the Norman Lear-created satirical soap opera and Mary Hartman, and is a starring role in his spinoff and Fernwood Tonight. And he was known for excelling at every creative discipline and imaginable, and also for doing red roof in commercials. And Maggie Mull, by the way, said in an Instagram post, says that he would find that joke funny, and he was never not funny. And my dad, by the way, will deeply missed by his wife and daughter, and by his friends and co-workers, by fellow artists and comedians and musicians, and is a sign of a truly exceptional person by many dogs, and known for his blonde hair and well-trimmed mustache. And Mull was born in Chicago and raised in Ohio and Connecticut, and studied art in Rhode Island and Rome. And his first foray, by the way, into show business was as a songwriter, and beginning in 1970 he had a girl named Johnny Cash for singer Jan Morgan. And he would combine music and comedy in an act that be brought to hip Hollywood clubs in the 1970s. And in 1970, by the way, I was a guitar player and sit-down comic operating at the Roxy on the Sunset Strip when Norman Lear walked in and heard me. And Mull, by the way, told the Associated Press in 1980 that he cast me as a wife beater on Mary Hartman. And 4 months later, I was spun off on my own show. And his time, by the way, on the strip was memorialized in the 1973 country rock classic and Lonesome Los Angeles Cowboy, and where the riders of the Purple Sage give him a shout out along with music and luminaries Christoph Overson and Rita College. And I know Chris, by the way, I know Chris and Rita and Marty Mull and Hangel and hanging and at the troubadour as the song says. And on Fernwood Tonight, sometimes styled as Fernwood Tonight, and he played Barry Gimble, and the host of a look talk show in a Midwestern town, and twin to his Mary Hartman character, Fred Willard, and a frequent collaborator with very similar comic and sensibilities, played his sidekick, and it was later revamped as America Tonight and set in Southern California. And he would get to be a real talk show host as a substitute for Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show. And Mull, by the way, often played slightly sleazy and somewhat slimy and often smarmy characters, as he did as Terry Gale, Bose and Michael Keaton's Foo in 1983, and Mr. Mom, and he played Colonel, and he played Colonel Mustard in the 1985 movie adaptation of the board game. And Chloe, which like many things Mull appeared in, has become a cult classic. And in the 1980, by the way, also wrote what many thought was his best work, and a history of white people in America, and a mockumentary that first aired on Cinemax. And Mull, by the way, co-created the show and starred as a 60-minute style investigative reporter, investigating all things and miraculous and modern. And Willard was again a co-star, and he wrote and starred in 1988 Rented Lips alongside Robert Downey Jr. and was father Robert Sr. directed. And his co-star, by the way, Jennifer Tilly. Jennifer Tilly said in an X post, formerly Twitter, Friday, that Mull, by the way, was such a witty, charismatic, and kind person. And in the 1990, he was best known for his recurring role on several seasons on Roseanne, and in which he played a warmer and less sleazy pose to the title character, and an openly gay man whose partner was played by Willard, and who died in 2020. And Mull, by the way, would later play Private Eye Johnny Barmison, and on Arrested Development, a cult classic character on a cult classic show, and would be nominated for an Emmy and his first in 2016 season for a guest run on VIP. And what I did on VIP, and I am very proud of, but I would like to think is probably more collective at my age, and is more collective, and Mull told the AP after the nomination told that it might go all the way back to Fernwood. And other comedians, by the way, and actors were often his biggest fans. And Martin was the greatest and bridesmaids. Director Paul Feig said on X and formerly Twitter, says that so funny and so talented and such a nice guy, and was lucky enough to act with him on the Jackie Thomas and the show, and treasured every moment being with a legend. Fernwood Tonight was so influential in my life.